Article 3 Bill of Rights. Section 1. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, uh, liberty or property without due process of law. Uh, Nor shall any person defend the equal protection of the laws. Section 2. The right of people to be secure in the persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizure of whatever nature and any purpose be invariable with search warrant or warrant of arrest shall issue except upon probable cause to be determined personally by the judge after examination under the oath of affirmation of the complainant and the witness. He may be produced or particularly describing the place of search and person things to be seized. Section 3. Number 1. For the privacy of communication and correspondence shall be inviolable except the lawful order of the court, and when the public safety and order requires the otherwise prescribed by the law. Number 2, any evidence obtained of violation of this or proceeding action shall be admissible for any purpose of proceeding. Section 4. No law shall be passed abridging the freedom of speech, of expression, of the press, of the right of people visibly and assemble and petition of the government for redress of grievance. Section 5. No shall be respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. The free exercise enjoyment of religious profession, the worship without discrimination or preference, shall forever be allowed. No religious test shall be required by exercise of civil or political rights. Section 6. The liberty of about the changing the same with the prescribed protected by the law shall not be impaired except upon the lawful order of the court. Neither shall the right travel be impaired except the interest of the national security, public safety or public health, or any provided by the law. Section 7. The right of the people to information on matters of the concern shall be recognized. Access to official records and documents or papers pertaining to official acts, transaction or decision, as well as the government research data used to basis the policy of development shall be afforded the citizen, subject to limitation may be provided by law. Section 8. The right of the people, including those employment in the public and private sectors, to form union, association, or societies for purpose not contrary to the law, not abridged. Section 9. Private property shall be taken for public use without compensation. Section 10. No law impairing obligation of the contract shall be passed. Section 11. Pre-access the courts and quasi-judicial bodies and adequate legal assistance shall not be denied any person by reason of poverty. Section 12. Any person under the investigation of the commission of the commission of offense shall have the right to inform, the right to remain silent, to competent, independent of the counsel, probably of his own choice. If the person cannot afford the service of the counsel, he must provide with one. These rights cannot be waived except in writing and presence of court. Number 2, no torture, force, violence, threat, intimidation, or any means with baited the free will be used against him. Secret detention, place, solidarity, incommunicado, or other similar forms of detention are prohibited. Prohibited. Any confession, number 3, any confession or admission of then of violence of Section 17 whereof shall be inadmissible and evidence against him. The law shall provide for penal and civil sanction for violation of the section will be compensation and rehabilitation of the victims to torture or similar practices and their families. Section 13. All persons except those charged with the offense punishable by reclusion perpetua evidence of the guilt strong shall before conviction be viable by sufficient sureties release the recognized as may provided by the law. The right to shall not to be impaired even if the privilege corpus suspended excuses shall be required. Section 14. No person shall be held answer to criminal offense without due process of law. 2. In the question of the accused shall be presumed innocent until the contrary shall the right to be should be himself and counsel inform the nature and cause of the committed against him, and 2. Speedy, impartial, and public trial to meet the witness face to face and have compulsory process to secure attendance witness and compulsory production of evidence. However, arraignment trial may proceed understanding absence of accused provided duty by failure appear unjustifiable. Section 15. The privilege of the will of habeas corpus shall be suspended except the case of invasion or invasion of rehabilitation when the public safety requires it. Section 16. All persons might be disposition of the cases before the judicial, quasi-judicial, or administrative bodies. Section 17. No person shall be complied with a witness against himself. Section 18. No person shall be detained exclusively by the reason of political beliefs and aspiration. Number 2, no voluntary servitude of any form except punishable for a crime whereof the party shall have duty and Section 19, excessive fines shall not be imposed, cruel, degrading, or inhuman punishment inflicted, neither shall death penalty be impact unless for competing reason involving crimes the Congress either provide for it. Any death penalty reduced to reduction perpetua, reduced to reclusion perpetua. Number 2, execution perpetua. Number 2, the employment of psychological punishment against any prison or detained, the use of inadequate penal facilities under the condition of the law. Section 20, no person shall be imprisoned for debt or for the payment spoil tax. Section 21, no person shall be twice put in jeopardy or punishment for the same offense, an act punishable by the law and the ordinance. Conviction, acquittal under either shall constitute part into prosecution of the same act. Section 22, no ex post facto of a offender shall be enacted. That's all.